Well, hello everyone and happy Monday. It is digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to Before the Four, the live stream where I talk about some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. Of course, wherever you're watching Before the Four today, whether it is on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream, as always, I have to thank you all for watching and spending just a little bit of your Monday afternoon here with me. Now, starting things off with the weather, obviously last Friday, things got pretty chilly here across the Tennessee Valley as the white stuff came falling from the sky. And by the way, you all sent in some beautiful photos of all the snowmen and all the scenery from Friday, and I had an absolute blast looking at them all and seeing the awesome time you all were having in the snow. There were a lot of photos. I want to say I looked at over 600 or 700 different photos from Friday alone. You all came in hot with the photos, that is for sure. But I love it so much. But let's now turn it over to 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis for a look at what to expect here in North Alabama this week. Brad?
Well, AJ, the focus this week is on the weekend rain. You see that behind me, but the rest of the week looks pretty nice. We've got some cold mornings, but the afternoon hours, we're going to be moderating. We'll be close to 60 degrees Thursday and Friday. No rain out there today. We've had a clear sky. It's actually been a pretty nice Monday overall. Things kind of slowly getting back to normal. Still a few patches of ice expected, mainly in the rural areas that are really shaded by trees. Still have some issues there. But as I mentioned, a beautiful day today, temperature near 50. Overnight lows tonight will be around 20 degrees, and then we'll slowly warm up through sunrise tomorrow morning. But a very cold start, some frost out there too. But by the noon hour, a little cooler than today. A weak frontal boundary is coming through, so we'll see highs kind of slack off tomorrow into the low to mid 40s, maybe some upper 40s by 2 o'clock. And then we kind of wait for the late week warm up, and that will be here beginning Thursday, and it'll last through Friday. Rain moving in Saturday.
Well, thank you, Brad. And now a story from 48's Noah Cowell following Friday's winter storm that rolled through the Tennessee Valley. Madison County leaders say they learned from 2024's ice storm and was effectively able to keep people safer on the roads this year than in previous years. 48's Noah Cowell with the story.
Some Madison County leaders say that they were proud of what they were able to do to prevent the winter chaos from happening again this time around. But is it fair to compare what happened this weekend to what happened 1 year ago? Well, most of these officials tell me no, saying that last year's ice storm was a learning experience that they took to then lead to some of these critical changes. Madison County Commissioner Phil Vandiver says he was able to find money in the budget for a new salt brine machine. It cost almost $150,000. He says this advanced machine can produce brine 3 times as fast as the old one.
And I think that really helped us get the roads where the snow didn't stick to them, where the cars could help us. If we couldn't get a snowplow there, the cars could go through the snow and loosen it up.
Last January, Vandiver says they waited until all the snow fell to bring out the snowplows, which turned out to be a mistake. He says he got some advice from more experienced crews in Tennessee and took the lessons to heart.
Once you start an event with your snowplows, you don't quit till the event's over. And so that's what we did this time. We started in the morning and we kept going and going until we got the roads in pretty good shape.
Craig Hill with District 3 says they learned from last year as well. Covering a more southern area, he says they attacked the snow differently than Vandiver, waiting until rain made it softer to get it all off the roads.
What's good for one not necessarily will be good for the other, and our roads clean. We cleared our roads quickly, and we really had.
Hill says District 3 tried something new as well this year, using a bladed skid steer to get rid of all the leftover ice and snow on the roads. He and Vandiver said that they were really thankful for the public for staying off of the roads during the storm. It allowed them to do their job better and to keep everyone safe. Reporting in Huntsville, Noah Cowell, 48 News on your side.
Well, thank you, Noah. And now in Huntsville, where one person is dead after a morning accident on Memorial Parkway near Maston Lake Road. Now, according to HIMSI spokesperson Don Webster, the person who died has not yet been identified, but Webster says it's an adult. Webster also said Himsey brought 2 patients to area hospitals. One is in stable condition while another has non-life-threatening injuries. And staying in Huntsville police are investigating a late-night shooting. Police said officers responded to the area of Monticello Drive and found a man there with a gunshot wound. The man was brought to an area hospital and remains in stable condition. Huntsville police say the person shot was at the location to purchase a gaming system when a dispute arose between both him and the seller. Police say a physical fight broke out between the two, which ultimately led up to the shooting. Authorities continue to investigate this incident. But now here's a story in state news. The cold weather we're seeing across the state could be contributing to a spike in flu cases. The Alabama Department of Public Health releases data on respiratory disease activity each week. The latest numbers show a near 500% increase in flu cases between December and January. WBRC recently spoke with UAB medical expert Suzanne Judd, who says Alabama is the hotspot for flu in the country right now. And take a listen to what she had to say.
Talk to your children, talk to them about safety in terms of spreading diseases, not sharing utensils. Children have very different habits than we all have. They tend to share water bottles, they share forks and knives. So talking to your kids about using their own forks and knives and using their own water bottle, it's a great way to keep the disease from spreading.
And Judd added that the key to protecting yourself from getting sick is minimizing close exposure to people, so make sure to keep your distance and stay about 3 to 6 feet away from others. But now a story staying in state news. Let me pull it up for you all right here. Brady Talbert with WBRC recently spoke with a professional on eye health and the importance of checking up on your eyes with an exam. Dr. Randall Pitts, he's an eye doctor based out of Clanton, who said there are indicators kids need to see a medical professional. Children showing signs that they may have trouble seeing or who have vision problems in the family need at least one checkup before they enter kindergarten. Even if they pass the eye exam, the doctor said they could still develop vision problems later into their teenage years. And as for adults, Dr. Pitt says they need a checkup every couple of years. But if eye disease runs in their family, this should be more frequent. Many may wonder if they must get their eyes dilated, and Dr. Pitt says it's not always necessary, but sometimes needed for children.
The main reason that we do the dilation on children to get the prescription is when you're young, you have a very strong ability to accommodate, almost like a zoom lens. And when we're trying to ask you, is this one better? Is that one better? Your eye just automatically begins to tighten up and flex the muscle. And so particularly in the children who are very farsighted, that's important.
That's certainly good to know. But now a story out of Montgomery where the family of a murder victim is still searching for answers after he was shot and killed last Wednesday. The man leaves behind 3 daughters and an unborn child. And Emma Ellis has the story.
He's one of the nicest human beings I think that I've ever met.
Rosemary Magana's family member Karen Montoya says Magana was heading out the door to go to work when tragedy struck.
The guy literally steps inside the house and just shoots him right in the face.
Montoya says the alleged shooter not only took Magana's life, but also his chance to watch his 3 daughters grow up and meet his unborn child.
No one knew. I found out that same day because, I don't know what she said, something along the lines, and I was like, "You're pregnant?" She was like, "We were trying to figure out a way to surprise the family."
Around 5 years ago, the family immigrated to the United States to flee violence in their home country of Honduras.
That's the crazy thing about it. They came fleeing from pretty much similar situations. They've had a lot of family murdered in their country, so they were fleeing that. And of course, the economy over there is horrible. And only for him to come here and the same thing happen.
Montoya says the family no longer feels safe in the U.S.
Everyone is terrified right now. His other cousin is afraid to go back to his own home because you're not secure. You're not.
The Montgomery Police Department is investigating this case as an active homicide. We've reached out to MPD about the status of this case. Emma Ellis, WSFA 12 News.
Well, thank you, Emma. And now coming up after the break, we'll talk about some exciting sports news you're just not going to want to miss. The latest on the Trump transition, now 1 week away from the 2025 presidential inauguration, and an awesome story on one man and his will to save his family's home in the devastating California wildfires. It's all ahead. I'll see you all in 1 minute. Well, hello and welcome back to Before the Four. Now, in a little exciting news for baseball fans, specifically Atlanta Braves baseball fans, as yours truly is, 10 Atlanta Braves spring training games will air on Gray media stations, including WAFF, beginning on February 27th. Now, as part of a new partnership with Gray, the 10 spring training games will air on WAFF 48.3, also known as the Tennessee Valley Sports and Entertainment Network. The games will exclusively be broadcast in 24 markets in the Southeast. Of the games set to air, one of the games will feature Major League Baseball's spring breakout game for a chance to get a glimpse at the top prospects from both the Detroit Tigers and the Atlanta Braves. Now, this game will be on March 16th, and you can see the full schedule of the spring training games right here on your screen. But some very exciting news there. But now a story staying in sports. Once again, Alabama Crimson Tide baseball is coming to Toyota Field this March. Now the Tide will face off against the University of North Alabama Lions on March 25th. First pitch is set for 6:05 p.m. with gates opening at 4:30. Tickets start at just $8 and will be on sale for the general public beginning January 15th at 10 a.m. Better get your tickets now. That's all I have to say. But this marks the third straight year Alabama baseball has played a game at Toyota Field. What you're seeing on screen is from last year's game at Toyota Field against Belmont University. North Alabama is scheduled to play 4 games at Toyota Field this season, including a 3-game series against Army that runs from February 14th until the 16th. But awesome stuff there. But now let's head into a bit of national news. Just 1 week before Donald Trump returns to the Oval Office, his cabinet picks will be facing tough questions on the Hill. And NBC's Ryan Nobles is in Washington with a preview. Let's take a look.
The clock is ticking down to Trump 2.0. And this time around, Donald Trump has promised to create a cabinet that reflects his political movement.
Now we have a tremendous amount of experience. We have people that I can rely on.
But several of his picks have raised questions from the Senate Republicans that will need to vote to confirm them. And this week, many of these nominees will have to demonstrate that they're up to the job.
Yes, some of them are outside the box, but I do think we have the votes.
Over the course of 4 days, senators are expected to hear from more than 10 Trump cabinet picks. On Tuesday, Pete Hegseth, his selection to lead defense, will be on the hot seat and is expected to get questions about accusations of sexual assault, alcohol abuse, and financial mismanagement, allegations he denies. While Republicans have rallied around Trump's pick, Many Democrats still have questions.
I think it's in our best interest to have everything put out on the table.
The confirmation hearings are heating up as Trump has put his legal trouble behind him. He was sentenced Friday in the New York hush money case without any penalty. The federal investigations into classified documents in January 6th were dropped after he won the election. It is unclear if the final reports by special counsel Jack Smith will ever be released to the public, but Smith himself informed the court last week that he has resigned his post. One issue still outstanding, whether the president-elect will pardon the Capitol rioters, including those convicted of violent crimes. Trump has said he would consider it.
I'm going to look at everything. We're going to look at individual cases, yeah.
Okay.
But yesterday, his vice president-elect, J.D. Vance, speaking out.
If you protested peacefully on January the 6th, you should be pardoned. If you committed violence on that day, obviously you shouldn't be pardoned.
Later posting that his remarks are, quote, not some walk back, and we care about people unjustly locked up, including people provoked.
Well, thank you. And a benefit concert was held at the House of Blues in New Orleans this past weekend to help raise funds for families affected by the New Year's Day terror attack. Jasmine Franklin has the story.
A city known for its music is playing a different tune at the House of Blues following the devastating terror attack on New Year's Day.
Music often brings people into the center of our city, but also can be a way to heal.
Dr. Lyric Mandel is co-founder of 2D Agency, the organization hosting a benefit concert with 100% of the funds raised going towards efforts to support the 14 innocent victims' families.
So we hope that tonight that we can kind of cultivate the community and utilize music as a means to escape, but also have divisive action and directly benefit those that have been the most affected.
And also just to kind of raise money to help support everyone who was affected.
The organization says all the funds raised will help victims' families with unexpected funeral costs, medical bills, and trauma-related expenses.
I think it's great to promote music and bring the city together even when tragedies happen.
Dozens of people filled the House of Blues listening to a variety of music from local artists, all for a good cause.
My heart's definitely felt pretty heavy.
Singer Christian Michael Butler is one of the local artists performing at the benefit concert. He says he is grateful to uplift a community still heartbroken.
I feel like a lot of times in New Orleans we get so caught up in how well we treat each other that it's sometimes hard to imagine things like this happening here.
Well, awesome stuff. And now a story out of Los Angeles where the deadly wildfires remain ongoing. A story of one man and his will to save his family's home and a lifetime of memories. NBC News has the story. Take a look.
It's just like a wall of fire, just coming, embers everywhere.
Felipe Carrillo is worried stronger winds could send flames from the Eaton fire back towards his home in Altadena. Two of the only houses still standing on his block are homes he says he personally saved with his garden hose.
I caught on fire a couple of times.
You caught on fire?
Yes, and so what I started doing is every once in a while I would just spray myself with the garden hose. Just soak myself with the garden hose and continue to fight.
He's since lost electricity and his water supply is run dry. But he's afraid if he leaves the evacuation area, he won't be allowed to return. So he's gathered up fire extinguishers and gardening tools to battle any future fires.
So if by chance an amber hits the house and starts, I'm going to give it my best.
And he's filling buckets using his pool, still coated in ash.
I know they're dirty, but water is water.
He says it's not just the house he's protecting, it's his family's memories.
The first time I saw my daughter. The very first time I saw my daughter. So how do you replace that? You can't. You just can't. You know? It was priceless. So I wasn't going to let it go. I was going to give it my best.
And he says he's prepared to do it again.
Now I need the county and the city and the state to finish the fight for us. To rebuild this community. To help the people that lost everything. I'm passing the baton. I need you guys to bring our neighbors back.
And my thoughts are certainly with those families devastated by the California wildfires, of course. But now let's head into the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. The search is still on for answers after a house fire left 3 dead last week on Forest Brook Drive in Monrovia. 48's Callie Neese will have more to follow up on in our evening newscast. The stand your ground hearing for a Colbert County man accused of killing his neighbor. 48's Aria Pons will have the latest from court on that situation. A Lauderdale County inmate facing new charges for allegedly producing pornography with a minor while in jail. And finally, an update on the firearms that were reported stolen from Tucker's Guns and Ammo in Priceville. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast, so make sure to stick around for that. But it is now time for Facebook Fun. That's right, our 48 Facebook question of the day. What is a song from your childhood that you still remember every word? I have a few of mine. My mother definitely taught me a lot of songs, and that helped me remember things growing up. So like our street address, where my childhood home was, I know that song that my mom wrote, which is just our street address, and of course our telephone number growing up. Mom made little jingles for both of those things that I can still recite to this day, and probably when I'm 80 years old, I'm still going to be shouting out 2311 Shoreline Parkway, which was, of course, our street address growing up. But what I want to know is what you all had to say, and let's see what are some songs from your childhood that you still remember every word to, and let's see. Jeffrey said, I Want It That Way from Backstreet Boys. Basically, any New Kids on the Block. That is a 90s baby right there, Jeffrey. I can tell you grew up in the 90s. And legendary choice. That is an incredible song. And New Kids on the Block, of course, they are a fantastic band, as well as the Backstreet Boys. There's also NSYNC. All of those legends from back in the day. So Jeffrey, now you're probably going to get that song stuck in my head because I'm just going to be humming it for the rest of the day, I have a feeling. So thank you for that, Jeffrey. But yes, of course, thank you so much for commenting. Let's see. Delana said the ABCs. Absolutely. You know, I don't know. I think I can do it. I've never tried it. I don't know if I can say the ABCs from A to Z without singing the ABC song. I don't know if it's just me, if I'm weird, but if someone like says, what's the letter after P? Like, I have to go like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Like, I have to sing the alphabet. But awesome choice there. How can you forget the ABCs? Incredible choice. Absolutely. Kenny said, Comfortably Numb. Of course, that is the song from, I believe it's from Pink Floyd's The Wall album. Incredible song there. Great choice, Kenny. Great music taste, without a doubt. Kenny, thank you so much. Mary Lewis said Dora the Explorer. How can you not have that song memorized in your head from your childhood? Absolutely. Me and you both, Mary. I can still sing the entire Dora song. I will not do it right now, of course, but awesome choice there. Mary, thank you so much for commenting. And then Terry Missy, Found a Peanut. Great song. I honestly forgot that this song existed until I saw that Terry commented that, and now it will not escape me. That song is now stuck with me for eternity. Terry, thank you so much for commenting, and thank you for bringing that song back into my rotation. Definitely appreciate it. But everyone who commented on today's Before the Four, thank you so much for commenting. And everyone watching today, thank you so much for watching. That is just about all she wrote for today's Before the Four, but I want to thank you all for sticking around and spending a bit of your Monday afternoon here. I hope you all enjoy tonight's evening newscast and do something fun with the family or whatever you're doing tonight. Make sure you have fun doing it. But that is all for today, but as always, I want to thank you all for watching and of course, have a great night. You guys have a good night.